Hey guys, Mike here from sellyourservice.co.uk, and today I want to talk to you about how to deal with scope creep from customers without pissing them off, but also making sure that your time is always profitable. One of the biggest problems that marketing funnel builders like you and I face is customers who just want to add one tiny change to a project. The problem, of course, is that when they ask for that one tiny change 100 times, it adds up. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how to deal with those scope creep requests. Yeah, I can't say that properly. Scope creep requests, as well as how to make sure that your customer is happy and actually how to deal with them in a way that makes sure that no one kind of gets upset or pissed off during the process. So I don't think that customers are actually bad for wanting scope creep. The reality is it's actually your fault if you don't deal with scope creep effectively and properly. A lot of the time, customers fail to realize just how much hard work goes into a particular project. So when they ask for just one change, they think it's something really small because they believe that you're talented and that you can take care of it really, really quickly. But they actually don't understand that it can take a lot longer than that. And of course, stacked up kind of adds up over time. The problem is if you give someone an inch, they will take a mile. That's human nature. That doesn't necessarily mean your customers are bad people. That's just kind of how the industry is. We need to make sure that we're profitable, of course, all of our projects, and if we keep acquiescing to scope creep, then we won't be profitable. The problem is, of course, if we say a firm no to a customer for any small changes, we're seen as inflexible. So I'm going to teach you how to deal with that kind of level of flexibility, as well as turning around what it is that you actually need to do. The biggest problem, in my opinion, is that scope creep prevents projects from being launched. It kind of keeps them in this limbo state, which means that projects are never ever launched. And if projects are never launched, it means that you don't ever get paid. So we're going to be firm, but we're also going to be flexible. We're going to say to the customer, that's a great idea, but we're going to put it to the parking lot, because if we acquiesce to every single request, it's never going to get launched. So the first thing that you need to do when a customer asks you for a small change, and the three most common areas I find of change are after the content or the design has been submitted, after the actual project itself has been launched, or during the project development stage after the proposal has been submitted. So after the proposal's been submitted, they go, yeah, this is fantastic. You get to work designing it and stuff. And they say, oh, could we have this feature added? And what about email marketing? They begin to add in all these other features, as naturally you're going to continue educating the customer on all the different things that they have available to them. But as time goes on, it does become more and more kind of stacked up, all these features, and if you end up implementing all of them and they haven't been in the proposal, it's going to cost you more money than you're going to make. So the first thing I like to ask is, that's fantastic. Can you show me where we talked about that in the proposal? Or did we talk about this in the proposal? Or is this in the proposal? And immediately that'll tell them, we work by a project timeline here and we can't just add things. They'll say, and this is just asking the question, and they'll go, no, I don't think we did talk about this in the proposal. That's great. Our job is to basically agree with them and say that all ideas are fantastic, but they have to come with a budget. We can't just do stuff for the sake of it. If a customer ever turns around to you and says, oh, I kind of figured that this would just be included, we have to be really firm, and it can be a little bit awkward. We have to say, I'm really sorry, I didn't realize this was something that you were after. I'm more than happy to talk about it, but most of the time we find that doesn't work, which is why we say the second thing. So point number 2 is to agree with them and say, that's a fantastic idea. I really want to do that. They won't be expecting that a lot of the time, and a lot of the time customers just want to be heard. Maybe their previous web designer or marketing funnel builder kind of shut down everything that they've said. So first of all, we're going to say, did we talk about this in the proposal? If it turns out we did it, we go, fantastic. That's a great idea. So that's point number 2. The reason we say that is because our job is to agree with the customer. We can't reach an agreement if one party disagrees. And at any stage during the proposal, you have to be known to be flexible as possible, but you're going to stay firm. So you're going to say, that sounds like a fantastic idea. Can we write that down and put it in a parking lot? So with a lot of our customers, we have an open Google Doc or sometimes a Slack channel where we'll put all of the ideas that didn't come up during the proposal. It happens all the time. It's just part of project management. You're not going to get everything during your first proposal, and we put those into a parking lot. The way we then deal with those parking lot items is we'll say, let's bring this up at our next meeting. Typically we have a meeting once a week with a customer during a build, and we'll say to them, going through this list, we really think we can implement this, 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 and this, and we estimate that it's going to cost this kind of money. Now, at this point, if a customer says, oh, I kind of thought this would just be included, can't you just do that? You have to be really, really firm and understand your pricing and your cost structure within your own business. So to turn around to the customer and say, you know what, we'd love to do that. The reality though is that we've set aside a certain budget and a certain number of hours with our designer and our developer, and our team can only work to a fairly strict project management timeline. It's not that we can't do it, we just have to know that we can allocate budgets and resources in order to be able to do it with you. This does two things. First of all, 90% of scope creep and ideas and features they think would be really cool will chances are be dropped as soon as they realize they've got to spend some money on it. The 10% that do go through and they go, no, we actually do really want this, you know it's going to be profitable because you're going to give yourself enough time to price it out. So make sure you put any items in the car park. We found that most of the time when they go into the car park list, that's where a lot of ideas die, because customers are kind of like, oh, this would be an amazing idea. And they've got all that kind of like young puppy bubbly energy. But as soon as we put it in a car park document, they go, actually, I'm not so interested in this anymore. So when we've got it down in our parking lot document and we bring it up at the next meeting, we go on to point 3. And point 3 is where we essentially go through those proposals, like I mentioned, and we say, all of this we reckon will cost an extra $5,000 or $10,000 or $100 a month or whatever it's going to be. At that point, your customer knows that you're being flexible with your time. You're also being as flexible as you can with the project. Here's the part where things get a bit tricky. After a project has launched and the customer says to you, great, this is live. However, I was just wondering if we could tweak just this one or two little things just to make it perfect. It seems like those things are so small and insignificant that it kind of doesn't seem worth charging. You're like, well, what do I charge for this? What do I charge for moving this like 1 pixel? It'll be like $10 or something. Instead, you go, hey, fantastic. Thank you so much for letting me know. I'm sorry it hasn't quite reached perfection stage. The reality is that no project is ever finished and ever launched. However, we have an unlimited content care plan and maintenance plan that we'd love to put you on. It's $200 a month or it's $300 a month, and you can request as many changes as you like. In the meantime, however, I won't be able to pass this on to the team because we've already moved on to another project. Just to clarify, during the design stage, was this kind of what you thought it would be? See, a lot of the time customers will see the design and it's not entirely their fault. They'll see the design, they'll go, yeah, I love this looks fantastic. But when it's live, something will click with them. We can't go back because as soon as we do one, we'll end up doing 100 for them. So you're going to use this as the perfect opportunity to move them onto a care and maintenance plan. Companies like GoWP.com, they offer unlimited content upgrades and things. For small little design changes and stuff as well, you could always offer, to bulk buy hours or tasks at a time. But even the smallest tasks, we say, why don't we go through the site, we'll leave it with you for a couple of weeks, write up everything you want to change, send it back over to us, and we'll tell you how much that'll cost to change it. Perhaps also now we can revisit some of those car park and parking lot ideas that we had in previous meetings. So there we go. That is how to deal with scope creep without pissing off your customers and making sure that every project is profitable. Remember, scope creep prevents projects from being launched. So you have to deal with them straight away. It's not the customer's fault, it's your fault depending on how you manage it. Agree with them about everything, say, yeah, that sounds like a fantastic idea, mark it down. It doesn't mean that you have to get it done. It doesn't even mean that the customer is going to want to do it or even remember it in a few weeks' time. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I am Mike from sellyourservice.co.uk. If you're new here and you're a funnel builder, I publish new video content every single day. So jump down to the subscribe button, hit subscribe, and I'll help you run your marketing funnel business. I've probably got a couple of videos either side here on some extra video content that will be helpful for you. In the meantime, let me know in the comments below if you've ever had to deal with scope creep and if this was useful for you as a video. Thanks very much for watching. Keep building those funnels.